Now we've reached the first advanced level trick in the game. This is what we refer to as hammer skip. This robot here has a hammer arm that is literally made of ham, and he's going to attempt to swing at me when I get close. However, because it's an AI, I can manipulate it to move into a spot where I want it, which can then be used to skip another major portion of this level. We want the robot to run up onto this big hump in the hill so we can jump on top of it and use it to boost onto the cliff. So because the robot isn't chasing me and is rather going to the place where I'm going to be, you can actually draw two lines and meet an angle right here on the part of the cliff where I want it to go, and it's going to line up its attack to swing exactly where I was headed. Now that it's right where I want it, I'm going to jump up higher onto the cliff so it moves to position itself into a place where it can swing at where I'm going again. And now it's right here, in a spot where I can jump on its head, but also get a lot of fall distance. SpongeBob canonically cannot swim, and in the SpongeBob universe, this is not referred to as water. It's actually undersea goo. So let's just get that out of the way before we have any questions about that. But when SpongeBob touches the goo, he's put in a position which is not safe, and therefore the game is going to bounce him back to safety. The safety area is the last place the game detected the player was walking on ground. In this case, it's on top of the hammer robot's head, which is why I lured him as high as possible, so I get sent back up in that direction as high as possible. This is absolutely necessary to reach the next area of the game and skip this whole tutorial section of Jellyfish Fields. But we're not done yet. This is where the hard part comes in. You will not have this perspective now unless you've played before, but take a look at the way SpongeBob animates when he gets sent back up from the goo. There are actually 5 different animations that can play when SpongeBob gets hurt like this, and they are entirely predictable based on the one that played the last time you received damage or touched goo. At the very end of each of these animations, there is one single frame where the player can input a move that would not normally be usable while in the air. So normally after SpongeBob gets damaged by goo and gets sent flying, all we can do is input a double jump to fly back to safety, because SpongeBob cannot use his single jump in midair. But due to animation overlapping on this one singular frame, SpongeBob can use his single jump in midair and then use a second jump to perform what we call a frame-perfect damage triple jump. For those of you who aren't used to playing video games with this high precision, here's a visual to help explain how small of a window this is. As I am speaking to you now, SpongeBob is appearing on the screen for exactly 1 frame each passing second. This is a visual representation of how long the player has to press the A button, otherwise the trick doesn't work. And if your device is set to playback on 30 FPS,